Mic check. Mic check. Hey guys, I hope everyone is having a good Thursday evening. Thanks for stopping by the channel and checking out the new content. For those of you who are new, this is your first time stopping by, I appreciate it. I hope you give me a chance to win you over with a like or subscribe. Tonight's video is going to be pretty quick. I only have like 3 main points that I wanted to talk about. First one being the Gulf of America. The second one is the Black National Anthem, and the third would be DOGE, just continuing to put in the work. So without delaying too much, let's just get into it. That's right, guys, it's Gulf of America. It's now reflected on your maps, whether you use Google or your iPhone. I'll put up a screenshot that I took today. Whether you think it's right or wrong, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I can just tell you my opinion, and I think it's fun. I think it's pretty cool, because how many times in our lifetime are we going to be able to see changes made to the maps like this? It had the name Gulf of Mexico for 400 years. So I think it's pretty cool. Like I said, I don't think Trump's motives were dark in any kind of way. I think he wants to instill a little bit of patriotism that's probably been lacking for 4 years in this nation. Gives us something to talk about. Talking about America, I think was really what he was wanting to do. Obviously, he's received a lot of online backlash for it, a lot of geopolitical criticism saying, oh, this is a new wave of American imperialism. He's wanting to, alter maps and take over, portions of Gaza or own the Gaza Strip, and, what's next. And, I don't think his motives were that dark. To me, it's not a big stretch to make sense of Gulf of America. I mean, we live in North America. Mexico is located in Central America. So it kind of just makes sense to call it Gulf of America. As a fisherman, I'm excited to go fishing in Gulf of America, okay? Never been. I've been to Gulf of Mexico with mixed results, but I'm hoping Gulf of America is going to be a little more generous, So we're going to see how it goes. Leave a comment. Let me know, what you think, what your thoughts are, and I look forward to kind of checking those out. Next, I wanted to talk about the Black National Anthem. Let's be clear, I'm not criticizing the song itself. It's more of like, why is there a need to have that in the sports? Why are we needing to sing that along with the national anthem? So I know it's nothing new. It was written back in 1899, in fact, by a guy named James Johnson, who was a poet. He was initially trying to write a poem to celebrate the birthday of Abraham Lincoln. As he wrote it, it turned into this song about the perseverance and overcoming the atrocious oppression that the Black community was facing at that time. And that in itself, I think is something to be proud of, something to appreciate. I'm not criticizing, again, the song or the poem. I want to know your thoughts about why it's so important to have it, as part of the games. Is it truly about inclusion, about accepting diversity? If so, then where's the Latino national anthem? Where's the Asian anthem, the Indian anthem? And some of you might say, well, the Black community has suffered greatly in this country, and they've been discriminated against. And I would also say that other minorities have been discriminated against as well. Yes, the Black community were slaves here in this country, but my people, I'm Hispanic, my blood is from, Mexico, and the natives there were enslaved by the Spaniards, so, we were slaves as well. My ancestors were. You weren't the only ones that were slaves. So I don't understand, again, the need to, I guess, appease one portion of the population. If you're wanting to focus on, inclusivity or diversity, look at the sport. Look at these professional leagues and the teams. NFL and NBA, the majority of players are black. You can make a case that in MLB, most of them are Latinos. But, show me an all-white baseball team. Show me an all-white basketball team. Show me an all-white NFL team. It doesn't exist. The diversity is already in the sport. It's on the teams. Whenever you go to sporting events, you see jerseys on all types of races, and they're not wearing, jerseys that are specific to their race. They're wearing jerseys for players that they're fans of, that they support, that they look up to. So again, the whole idea of, we need to have this anthem because it represents, this other population, and that the national anthem doesn't. It doesn't speak to for some reason. And my worry is that train of thought, or are we gonna end up with 45 minutes to an hour worth of all these anthems needing to be sung in order to validate every race? Why can't we all be Americans? Why can't we be one country and listen to one anthem? Whenever I, turn on the TV and I want to watch baseball, I tune into the Astros to watch home runs into the Crawford boxes, to watch strikeouts. I want to watch great plays out on the diamond. If I tune, to the Rockets, I want to see Jalen Green dropping 20. If I tune into the Texans, I want to see C.J. Stroud throwing a bomb down the field and getting 6 points on the board. I'm not tuning into these teams in order to find out what message is, printed on the end zone, or what message is on the baseball, or on the pitcher's mound. I'm wanting to watch the sports for the sports. And I believe that if you take kind of all the activism out, not only is it going to be less complicated, it's going to be less divisive. You're going to be able to enjoy the sport, and more people are going to go to the sport because it's free of all of that. I believe in that if you start putting more and more and allowing this activists kind of to, put in little messages here and there, it's going to alienate people, and they're going to, ultimately not want to be a part of something that's so divisive. That's my opinion. There's a saying, in MLB, it just says, let the kids play. And that's all I want. Let the kids play. Let the guys go out there, and girls, and play the sport that they love and that we love watching them play. Lastly, I want to hit on DOGE yet again. DOGE is putting in the work. They are going to town, tearing things up, just disrupting the deep state, which I love seeing, all the news articles about it. The Dems running for their lives like, chickens with their head cut off, because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say. And it just goes to show just how scared they truly are. I think Elon hit the nail on the head when they were doing that press briefing in the Oval Office with him, Trump, and Elon's little son. He said that the American people voted for major government reform, and that's exactly what they're going to give them. And he highlighted the fact that so many times these elected officials will campaign on, these agendas, these ideas, and then they don't deliver. In their case, they're trying their hardest to deliver on what they campaigned on. And I'm not saying that they're going to do, anything and everything that they said, 100%. I don't think that's necessarily realistic, but the fact that they're being as transparent as they are, I think is great, because they're tearing down parts of the government while working for the government. And I think if they were truly trying to mislead us, they'd be like, oh, let's not let the people know about this one, because they're not gonna they're not gonna take this one well. They're gonna not trust us now. No, I think he also said that you can't just tell people to trust you. You have to show them. You have to give them the proof for them to arrive to that trust on their own. And I think that's what they're trying to do. They're going through lots of waste, fraud, and abuse found in organizations like FEMA, the Department of Education, USDA, and like one of my previous episodes, I already talked about USAID. But let's hit on a couple of these quick notes for each of these programs. For example, the Department of Education had 29 DI training programs that were slashed. It was going to cost $100 million. One of those programs had teachers inform students of their privilege. We kind of already know where that's going. And then other students about their oppression. Come on. USDA had 18 programs slashed. One of them was for Central American Gender Assessment Consultant. What does that have to do with the USDA? Sorry, guys, I had some technical difficulties last night. I had to stop recording, so I figured I'd come back today and finish off where I left off. We were talking about DOGE and a couple of the things that were found out, these programs that said that they were, using our taxpayer money for good. Turns out that they were just using for, stupid shit, and I was talking about the different things that we have found out thanks to DOGE. I think that it's important that they conduct these audits. They're going to audit the government, and you see how the Dems are reacting, because they know that they are corrupt, that they are about to lose their, slush funds, if you want to call it that way. All these kickbacks and all the corruption is going to be rooted out. And the fact that they want to try to use judges to stall this from happening, it just makes them look even worse. It surprises me that, as smart as they are, not one of them has stopped to ask themselves or ask a group and say, are we sure that we should be doing this? Doesn't this make us look more guilty? Regardless, even if they did, they would probably just be screamed at or kicked out of the group. It's very disappointing to see this kind of behavior out of adults who say that they are servants, public servants. I hope that people realize that this wasn't due to incompetence necessarily. This was purposeful. These elected bureaucrats, these this deep state allowed all of this to happen for decades because of this complaint minimization, that Elon brought up in that same press briefing that I mentioned earlier, saying that if you keep everyone happy, no one's going to complain, no one's going to bring to light any issues, and you keep them happy with kickbacks. That way they keep approving the money, and then they give them a little portion here or a little portion there. As soon as you stop that, that's when the people start to complain. And he said that the first ones to complain and the ones that complain the loudest are usually the corrupt or the fraudsters. So again, going back to just how they're, flailing around, they don't know what to say, what to do. It's very clear that they don't have clear leadership or a clear path forward. A lot of news anchors, on the right have called it an existential crisis for the left because they don't have an identity. And to me, I think it's pretty ironic because you have this, the left, the Democratic Party, who, has had issues with identity, people identifying themselves. They don't want people to identify themselves when they go vote. They don't want people to have to identify within two genders. They should have all of these options, and then the move be able to move between those options at will. So to me, it's no surprise that they don't know now how to identify themselves as a party. That's pretty much all I had for y'all today, or for this video. There was a couple of new developments yesterday regarding RFK and Tulsi Gabbard. They both been confirmed now. It's just two more disruptors to the team. I'm looking forward to seeing the work that they put in. I'm a little more interested in RFK just because I think his work is going to be easier to track. I think a wider group of people are going to be interested. After all, it is health related. I think that we'll be able to keep track of it and try to apply everything that he's finding out or implementing a little easier in our lives. Tulsi's job is going to be a little more intricate. I'll do my best to keep up with both of them though, and also Kash Patel passed the first vote. He's gonna now wait for the full Senate vote, so hopefully we get that going as well, and we have some new information soon. He's going to be a great addition to the team also. As always, guys, thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, leave your comments, leave your feedback. If you have any ideas for topics, please drop them in the section below. If you just want to tell me I'm wrong about a couple of these details, open up a discussion. Let's talk about it. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.